The so-called Islamic State has claimed responsibility for an attack on a ceremony in Iran that killed more than 80 people. The terror group made the announcement on the messaging service Telegram. It said 2 of its members were responsible for twin explosions at commemorations of top commander Qasem Soleimani, who was assassinated by a US drone in 2020. These were the deadliest attacks in the Islamic Republic's history. Let's bring in Ali Fathollah-Nejad. He's a political scientist with the think tank Center for Middle East and Global Order here in Berlin. Now, Islamic State have claimed responsibility for the attack. What's your assessment of how credible that claim is?
Well, that's a very good question. I mean, it could well be that the Islamic State, Daesh, has been behind this terror attack, given also the kind of confessional conflict which pits the Islamic State, an extremist Sunni organization, against the Islamic Republic, which is a Shia entity. So in this particular context, it would, of course, make perfect sense. But then again, another possibility is that the Islamic State is claiming that it has been behind this terror attack to portray its strength. But be it as it may, there is, given the past experiences also, we had other terror attacks that were attributed to the Islamic State. The truth of the matter is that there is very little likelihood that we will have some certitude about the perpetrators of this attack, because there will be no due process, I believe, in identifying the culprits.
Talking about identifying the culprits, Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has said the attackers will face a, quote, harsh response, though he didn't point to any possible suspect. What kind of response could he mean?
Well, the Islamic Republic has pledged the same thing 4 years ago after the US drone killing of General Soleimani, that the US will face I quote, hard revenge. But we didn't see it. So it's absolutely unclear what the Islamic Republic will do, because also these attacks are happening in the context of, difficulties for the regime inside and outside of its borders. So it could well instrumentalize these attacks to further securitize the domestic arena, with a double election on the horizon on March 1st for the parliament and the Assembly of Experts, who is going to select the next supreme leader, for which the regime knows that they're going to be probably a very low voter turnout. So this may be, the connection domestically, and externally, the Islamic Republic has been dealt some important blows very recently with the killing of not only Aruri in Beirut, but also a week earlier of a top IRGC commander in Syria, probably at the hands of Israel. So in any case, whoever might be the perpetrator of this attack, I'm quite sure, and if you look at the Iranian state narrative, that the Islamic Republic is surely going to instrumentalize it for its own power purposes.
Now, there has been some speculation that Israel may have been behind the attack in Kerman. The Iranian-backed Hezbollah group in Lebanon has been engaged in low-level fighting with Israel since October 7th. How great do you think is the risk that it will escalate?
Well, according to the Iranian state narrative, the Islamic State has been actually invented by Israel and the United States. So all of this sits very well with the kind of Iranian narrative, but it is very unlikely that Israel has been the perpetrator, but because the pattern of Israeli attacks in Iran have been a wholly different one. Israel has been targeting regime, military and nuclear infrastructures, and has been shying away from not very clearly targeting those infrastructures, and such a terrorist attack that has been seen witness victims, casualties amongst civilians, will only be counterproductive for Israel. So I think Israel is very unlikely to have been behind this particular attack here.
Thank you very much, Ali Fatahullah Nejad there.
Thank you.